What were you doing again?
Tit checks.
Oh, what are you now?
Do you like references to video games? This movie stars Who Cares as Chris Redfield. You've never heard of her as Jill Valentine. And who is that again? As Claire Redfield. Join us as we remove today's movie, Resident Evil. Welcome to Raccoon City. There, just did your intro.
Intro time? Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City is a reboot, if you want to call it, of the Paul W.S. Anderson movies. They kind of wiped all the slate and they decided to do Resident Evil 1 and 2, the video game, into this one movie. Overall, what did you think of the movie, Grocery Gamer?
The movie was fine. It was definitely doing as much as it can to follow the plot line of the first two video games. The casting direction, on the other hand, was a little questionable.
Why was it questionable? Well, actually, let me just answer it probably for you. Let me guess. Does it have to do with Leon Kennedy and Jill Valentine?
The problem is that Jill Valentine was there to meet a certain quota, and Leon S. Kennedy was depicted as some rookie lame brain idiot, whereas he was already relatively trained and versed in combat in the video games. So a questionable decision on his action skills in this action movie.
So off and on about that, Jill Valentine, even though she's in this movie, I remember in the Paul W.S. Anderson version, she's in the second one mostly. This one, she's rarely in it. I want to say for the hour and 47 minutes, she's maybe in it for 20 of those minutes. So she's kind of a useless character, and I don't know why they put it in here. I guess they wanted to have the relationship with the bad guy that's going to be in the second one if there's a sequel. And then for Leon Kennedy, 100% correct. In the video games, even in the old Resident Evil franchise, he was kind of a secret agent. He, in the video games, rescues the president's daughter, is the president's daughter's bodyguard. Here, he is worthless. He doesn't know how to handle a gun. He is, like Grocery Gamer was saying, a rookie and just kind of dumb. He was dumb, and it wasn't really. I don't know why they decided to go that way when they were trying to say or try to stay faithful to the video game franchise, and they made that character very different. I don't know what they were thinking in doing that.
They did it for comedic relief. They clearly couldn't go on pure acting talent or special effects, so I think in order to keep the audience's second long attention, they had to insert a goofball in there.
Well, I thought that's what the captain was for.
The captain was also kind of an idiot, but they needed a more substantial idiot.
I mean, I guess so. I can kind of agree and disagree with what you're trying to say. But when we talk about that, okay, so that's the casting and the direction of what they're going with. Directing wasn't too bad. You could tell, we did guess, it's about a $25 million budget, so probably substantially less than the other Resident Evil franchise. And there's a reason for that. They don't know what it's going to be. Kind of like Ghostbusters, the new one, was like half of the 2016 Ghostbusters. Studios are kind of pulling back the money and wondering, do we really need to spend that money to make a profit? And for this one, it was probably a good idea to keep at that $25 million budget, even though it did show with the dog, the truck, and everything like that. In this movie, there wasn't a lot of zombies. There was a fight sequence, if you want to put it that way, in a mansion, and you could kind of tell it was like a strobe lighty flashlight, very cheaply done, kind of like almost... You can't keep still. Kind of almost like a what Doom tried to do.
Yeah, the Doom first person scene.
That kind of reminded me of that.
They made an attempt to create suspension, but in all actuality, it was a cost-cutting measure.
100%. Yeah, they tried to do that POV kind of thing with that Resident Evil. Overall, like anyone to speak about the dog as well, at least in the Mila Jovovich, Paul W.S. Anderson film, they used real Dobermans and put makeup on there. Here they used a real Doberman in the beginning and they started making it more CGI and made it extremely CGI at the very end. Not very end, I mean middle of the movie when they decide to attack. The monster creature at the very end.
That one was decently loyal to the Goliath, Skogloth or something, virus from the video game from Resident Evil 2. It had, the shoulder eyeballs, spines out the back, big claws. So in that regard, it was decently loyal to its video game adaptation. But again, they just kind of had him walking and stumbling around as opposed to doing anything substantial, again, as a big cost cutting measure. And they kill him with him turning into a giant dog looking thing, and then Leon S. Kennedy.
Spoilers alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert.
Then Leon S. Kennedy just blows him up with a rocket launcher. So decently anticlimactic.
Spoiler again, spoiler. So yeah, we'll put it that way as well with the pacing of the movie.
It's very fast. You're trying to get 2 games in an hour and a half.
And I wouldn't say it's fast. I'd say part 3, of course, 3 parts of the movie. The first one's the setup. The second one is trying to get everyone to the location. Third part is kind of how you're going to conclude it. The conclusion part really wasn't satisfying, in my opinion. I understand what they're trying to do with this movie as a whole, but if I'm judging Welcome to Raccoon City with the original Resident Evil movie, I don't know. I would have to rewatch that one. But with that whole franchise as a whole, you got to kind of think about it this way. The original, 5-6 movie franchise for that one, do you want it to be more faithful to the look of the characters and they kind of go off their own liberty to make a different movie? Or with this one where they kind of take liberties and change the characters but try to be real to the video game, if you know what I'm saying? So overall, I think it was an okay experience. I had an okay time with it. It was a little wonky in my opinion with what they're trying to do with some of the characters and how some of them got more screen time than the others. And I know for a fact a lot of them are supposed to be very important characters to the video game. Like I said, I'm really not a big Resident Evil video game person. I tried to play the first one with that weird camera angle. I just suck at that.
Tank controls.
Yeah, and I need to try to play, the remake of the 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6. I know they were going to make a remaster for the 4th one. But overall, I think it's an okay movie. My review or my rating will be a 2.5 out of 5 Blue Futons, which equals a 50%. What about you, Grocery Gamer?
I give it 5 Chick-fil-A spicy chicken sandwiches
out of 10. So we're both giving it 50%. It's very interesting. So see the critics you just gave this one. All right, so right now, guys, even though the movie doesn't come out till, I think, tomorrow, so we saw kind of an early access again, we have a 58% from the critics. There's only 12 of them, though. There's a fewer than 50 audience scores, so there's no audience score yet, and there is no critic consensus, but at 58. Actually, I'm kind of shocked it's at 58. That's pretty high in my opinion.
Don't worry, it'll drop, but all critics are rotten, so their opinions do not matter.
All right, it's while we're at it right now, what do you think the original Resident Evil film was at, if you had to take a random guess with the critics?
65%.
You're going that high?
That's a total lie, 30%.
Wow.
You're cutting this, right?
Oh, absolutely not. The 2002 version got a 36%. So right now, this one is substantially better. But like I said, it's only 12 critics, everything like that. But anyway, do you agree with that 50% for the Blue Futons? 5 Chick-fil-A sandwiches out of 10? No. Well, you need probably the deluxe version. Get that tomatoes and lettuce as well. Or that 58 right now with the critic. Chase Hockey with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this Blue Futon Utopia. You Blue Futonians. Thank you for watching and have a great day. You have anything else to end it?
I think I'm balding.
I mean about the movie, but hey, personal problems. You do you, boo.
They balded in the movie.
You do you, boo.